A Treachery of Realism. In December 1895, German scientist Wilhelm Conrad Röntgen proposed the discovery of an unknown ray, which, for the reason precisely, he named as X-ray. The discovery of X-ray, as time would tell, became one of the most significant discoveries of the 19th century, and what a remarkable timing it was, the turn of the century. X-ray almost single-handedly proved the definitive limited nature of human scientific progress and acumen. That something unseen and unproven with contemporary science ascertains its non-existence, such audacious claims by science mixologists were harnessed. The discovery showed that human eye is capable of registering only a very narrow band of light in the larger electromagnetic spectrum. Very importantly, the whole concept of invisible rays filling the atmosphere opened before our eyes, metaphorically. As the significance of visible light changed magnitude with the advent of invisible rays, others including alpha, beta, gamma, etc., closely after X-ray, artists tried to visualize painting in dimensions more than 3. It would, at that time, seem pertinent to extend and explore, through art, the possibilities of a spatial fourth dimension, something which was done with reasonable success by M.C. Escher, although decades after. In any case, the opacity of bodies no longer seemed necessary in art, and it helped explore the invisible dimensions leading to a meta-real universe. A decade since the discovery of X-rays, another German scientist, having the name of Albert Einstein, proposed his special theory of relativity, following it up with a general theory 10 years later. The rubric of Einstein's theories forces us to explore a world beyond the one observed and perceived through our senses. Space and time no longer remain absolute. We can no further rely only on our sensory organs to understand life. In 1907, Pablo Picasso and George Braque brought to life something called cubism in art. In a sense, in rendering the invisible dimensions through the geometry of formations, in exploring light that is more than merely the visible spectrum, the Cubist painters also wished to draw a world that was beyond the meager and ordinary appearance. The linear perspective of sight, which used to be so absolute in painting through the centuries, seemed to be overthrown. Much later, Picasso would comment, "At that time our work was a kind of laboratory research from which every pretension of individual vanity was excluded." You have to understand that state of mind. On 22nd March 1895 in Paris, at the Society for the Development of the National Industry, in front of a small and private audience, Auguste and Louis Lumière, brothers, screened a film, Employees Leaving the Lumière Factory in Lyon. The response encouraged the Lumière brothers to arrange the first commercial screening later on the 20th day of December the same year. This time, it was not just a single film, but a bouquet of 10 shots lasting less than a minute each. The popularity of the show was so immense that it took the world press by storm. The very next year, the films of Lumière brothers traveled across the world and even reached India, ruled by the British. The package of films was shown to affluent and elite audiences in the cities of Bombay, Calcutta, and Madras. From its inception, cinema, which is the youngest of the art forms, treaded two distinct paths. The first and the foremost, prevalently prominent one, is that which deals with a linearly narrative trail depending on plot creation resulting in climax and its resolution. The other, and a significantly weaker stream, is by auteurs who use cinema as a medium of their artistic expression, where they experiment with the form and techniques to convey a personal message. Georges Méliès is one of the earliest pioneers of this second stream with films like The Vanishing Lady 1896, The Man with the Rubber Head 1901, and A Trip to the Moon 1902. These are just three of the more than 1500 short films that he made, always looking to augment the scope of human imagination. In most of his films, Méliès was extending the frontiers of the moving image by trying different tricks encompassing vaudeville, magic, as well as technical experimentations, including multiple and double exposures and edit hacks. It is neither serendipity nor a fortuity that moving images emerged with its full potential in the 19th century after the scientific discoveries that preceded it. In the broader scheme of events, with its power to depict the unreal, the one that is not visible in real life, cinema in its stride took cognizance of Sigmund Freud's interpretation of dreams as well. In the Treachery of Realism, cinema as an audiovisual ensemble was the chimera in the minds of the artist. It is a culmination of many forms, more importantly, the closest to depict the delusion of human mind.